Welcome to Daily News Podcast, the voice of Mangalore today. Here, we dissect the news, uncover the stories, and bring to light the issues that matter most to you. Join us as we navigate through today's pressing news.
In a significant development, the police in Hosturg have exposed a large-scale fake certificate racket in Kanhangad. 3 primary suspects involved in the illegal operation have been apprehended. They are identified as Santosh Kumar from Kovalpally, P. Ravindran from Mukode, Cheruvathur, and Shihab from Hosturg Beach. The operation was centered around a facility named Net for You, located near the Pudiakot bus stand in Kanhangad. The police raid led to the confiscation of computers, hard drives, forged documents, and equipment used for producing counterfeit educational certificates, identification papers, and official seals. Authorities suspect the gang of creating fraudulent university degree certificates, SSLC mark sheets, driving licenses, and passports. The investigation is ongoing, with the possibility of more individuals being involved. This case has raised serious concerns about the reliability of academic and government-issued documents and their implications on employment, verification processes, and national security. Stay tuned for further updates on this unfolding investigation. Nitte University in Mangaluru recently paid homage to the Indian Armed Forces in a special event held on campus. The gathering saw enthusiastic participation from students, faculty, and the public. Notably, 14 former service members, now part of the university community, were also present. The Chancellor, Shri N.V. Hegde, praised the armed forces' efforts in safeguarding the country's sovereignty and their prompt response to recent challenges. The Vice-Chancellor, Professor M.S. Mudathaya, lauded the armed forces' dedication and Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's resolute stance against terrorism. Air Commodore S.K. Pai Redid highlighted the seamless coordination between the different branches of the military and the government. The event served as a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made by the armed forces in the line of duty.
In a recent incident on a passenger train departing from Subramania, a passenger was fined 1,500 by the Railway Protection Force, RPF, for misusing the emergency chain. The chaos erupted over a seating dispute near Bantwal, leading to the unauthorized activation of the emergency chain. The train was unexpectedly halted due to this action. The RPF acted swiftly, identifying the individual responsible upon arrival at Mangaluru Junction, conducting an inquiry, and imposing the fine with a stern warning. Let's all remember to use emergency facilities responsibly and avoid such disruptions during train journeys in and around Mangaluru.
Tragedy struck in Udupi as a young Yakshagana artist associated with Suralumela lost his life in a fatal accident. The artist, identified as Ranjith, was electrocuted when a live wire fell on him while he was traveling on his two-wheeler near Agumbe. Ranjith, who was on his way back home after a show cancellation due to rain, unfortunately succumbed to his injuries before reaching the hospital. Another artist, Vinod Raj, who was with Ranjith, was rescued by locals. The incident has left the Yakshagana community in shock as they mourn the untimely demise of a talented artist. In a spectacular display of academic prowess, students from Dakshina Kannada district have excelled in the recently announced CBSE Class 10 and 12 exam results. Despite the challenging Class 12 question papers, many schools in Mangaluru city achieved a phenomenal 100% pass rate in the Class 10 exams. While some educational institutions faced obstacles due to the difficulty level of the papers, overall, the district has shone brightly, showcasing its educational excellence. Congratulations to all the successful students and best wishes for their future endeavors. In a historic ceremony at Rashtrapati Bhavan today, Justice Bhushan Ramkrishna Gavai was sworn in as the 52nd Chief Justice of India. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Justice BR Gavai, who has succeeded Justice Sanjeev Khanna in this esteemed role. Chief Justice Gavai received congratulations from top dignitaries, including Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. Former Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna also graced the occasion to wish his successor well. Justice Gavai, who began his legal career in 1985 at the Bombay High Court, will hold the top judicial post for 6 months before retiring in November.
In Udupi, the Fisheries Department has issued crucial guidelines for fishermen to enhance security measures at sea. Fishermen are advised to fish in groups of 2 or 3 boats, stay vigilant, and report any suspicious activity to the authorities. They should also be cautious of strangers on sand dunes and islands. The department emphasizes the importance of keeping navigational lights on during the night while boats are anchored. Additionally, fishermen must be prepared to cooperate with coastal security teams during inspections, providing necessary documents like Aadhaar cards and permits. Let's ensure our seas are safe for all. In Mangaluru news, a lorry carrying a load of mangoes met with an accident on the Pachanadi-Bondal Link Road. The vehicle overturned and fell into a ditch after the driver lost control. The driver, Rafiq Ulay Betu, was injured but is now recovering in the hospital. The mango-laden lorry was en route to Udupi for a mango festival when the incident occurred. Authorities are investigating the cause of the accident, urging drivers to stay cautious on the roads. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. In a shocking incident in Tumakuru district, Karnataka, a son has been accused of murdering his father and trying to cover it up as an electric shock accident. The crime was revealed through CCTV footage from the Apollo ice cream factory, where the murder took place on May 11th. The video shows a verbal and physical altercation between Nagesh and his son Surya, culminating in Surya strangling his father to death with a cloth. To mislead authorities, they staged the scene by applying an electric shock to Nagesh's fingers. The attempt to disguise the murder almost succeeded until Nagesh's sister filed a complaint, leading to Surya's arrest. The police are delving into the motive behind this heinous act and the complexities of the relationship between the father and the son. Stay tuned for further updates on this tragic incident in Mangalore today.
Mangalore, on May 14, 2025. India firmly slammed China's recent efforts to rename certain locations in Arunachal Pradesh. The Indian government strongly asserted that such actions by China cannot change the fact that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral part of India. Beijing's move to assign Chinese names to places in Arunachal Pradesh, a region China claims as part of Tibet, has been met with a resolute response from New Delhi. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal emphasized that India unequivocally rejects these attempts by China. Jaiswal reiterated that regardless of creative naming by China, Arunachal Pradesh has been, is, and will always be an essential and inseparable part of India.
In recent news from Attari, the much-awaited return of Border Security Force personnel, Purnam Kumar Shah, has finally taken place. Shah, who had inadvertently crossed the international border into Pakistan last month, was handed over to Indian authorities earlier today. The 40-year-old BSF Jawan belonging to Firozpur, Punjab, had been in Pakistani custody since April 23rd. His return was delayed due to heightened tensions following a terror attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. Despite Pakistan's initial reluctance to engage in talks, the handover was carried out peacefully through the joint checkpost at Attari in Amritsar. Shah, who has served in the BSF for 17 years, was in his uniform and armed when he mistakenly crossed over. His pregnant wife, Rajani, and other family members have been eagerly awaiting his safe return. The Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, also expressed concern and urged swift action for his rescue. With Shah now back on Indian soil, his family and well-wishers breathe a sigh of relief. In a strong response to President Donald Trump's claims, the Modi government rejected all assertions about U.S. brokering a ceasefire between India and Pakistan and rejected any offer of mediation on the Kashmir issue. India emphasized that all military actions were potential warfare and not nuclear conflict. The Ministry of External Affairs cited Pakistan's stance on using nuclear weapons and emphasized bilateral talks on Kashmir. India reiterated its position that Kashmir is a bilateral issue, rejecting any third-party involvement. Despite Trump's claims of brokering the ceasefire, India clarified that it was Indian forces' actions that led to the cessation of military offensives. The MEA spokesperson dismissed U.S. claims of influence, stating that Pakistan agreed to stop firing due to the force of Indian arms. The understanding between India and Pakistan was reached through direct communication between the DGMOs. India's consistent message to foreign leaders was clear: respond to terrorism and retaliate if fired upon, signaling peace if Pakistan ceased hostilities. In a recent development, former Defense Secretary Ajay Kumar has been appointed as the chairman of the UPSC, as confirmed by the Union Personnel Ministry. Following the conclusion of Preeti Sudan's tenure on April 29th, the post of UPSC chairman was vacant. President Drupadi Murmu approved Kumar's appointment, according to the order issued recently. Ajay Kumar, a retired 1985 batch Indian Administrative Service (IAS) officer of the Kerala cadre, served as Defense Secretary from August 23, 2019 to October 31, 2022. The UPSC is responsible for conducting civil services examinations to recruit officers for prestigious services like IAS, IFS, and IPS. The commission is led by a chairman and can have a maximum of 10 members. Currently, 2-member positions are vacant in the commission. The UPSC chairman holds office for a term of 6 years or until reaching 65 years of age. In a disturbing development, a fake post on social media claimed that supporters of RSS vandalized the family home of Colonel Sophia Qureshi in Belagavi, Karnataka. The post, posted by an individual named Anis Udin from British Columbia, Canada, alleged an attack on the Muslim Indian Army officer's family. However, the police quickly debunked the post as fake and provided security to Colonel Qureshi's home. Colonel Qureshi, who hails from Vadodara, Gujarat, has recently gained prominence as the spokesperson of the Indian Army. The fake news surrounding her comes amidst a spate of cyber attacks launched by Pakistan-allied hackers. These cyber attacks targeted critical infrastructure websites across India, with only a few being successful. The Maharashtra Cybercrime Police have identified 7 groups behind these attacks, using various tactics like malware campaigns and GPS spoofing. The misinformation during this conflict included claims of cyber attacks on India's power grid and alleged attacks on defense facilities.
That wraps up today's edition of the Daily News Podcast. We're grateful for your viewership. For additional details on today's stories, head over to mangaloretoday.com. And remember, subscribing to our channel keeps you ahead with the latest news. Stay informed, stay safe.